advocate. Hey, KiKi, it's PDA. It's hard to say, devil's advocate.
We never refer to a female cookies. We call it the PF and stars, people call them cushies. We don't speak ill of the dead. We hope you won't be offended by the things that are said. Playing devil's advocate, and now I'm here to judge you. That's what your true thoughts you work right out to love you. Everybody's listening, nobody's tripping. This life's too crazy, everybody's slipping. This life's so crazy, running self-defense. You on the right side, there's no need to pretend. It's an open forum, never done before. It's a future, listen, this is a no cousin, the letters are lit, no bugging. No extra charge, just switch for be buzzing. We don't really care if you're right or you're wrong. The tune is the mystic, whichever time it's on.
Hey, KiKi, it's hard to say. It's hard to say. Devil's advocate. Hey, KiKi, it's PDA. It's hard to say. Devil's advocate.
And we go a little something like this. Hit it!
At some point, you will be offended by something said on the show. But playing devil's advocate is meant to be a forum for open, honest, and more importantly, judgment-free dialogue. The opinions expressed here may not necessarily be those of the host or of the show in general, but we're willing to have the uncomfortable conversations so that we can heal and find solutions for our listeners and quite possibly even ourselves. Enjoy the show.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Playing Devil's Advocate. I am your host, Miss KiKi, the consummate provocateur, and for the next 120 minutes, we are going to edutain you. That means for the next 2 hours, you are going to be educated and entertained, but tonight the emphasis is definitely going to be on the entertainment. I can't wait to get into the rest of the show, but I need to do a little of the light housekeeping to let you know how you can stay involved and everything in terms of what we do here on Playing Devil's Advocate. If this is your first time watching, we are here each and every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Central, and 10 p.m. on the East Coast. If you happen to miss the live broadcast, you can always go back to YouTube right here, and you can watch the shows. We will start leaving them up for you guys. I figure why not, be nice. If you want to participate in the show, we are fully interactive. If you're watching us right now on YouTube, you should be able to see us in our interactive chat room. Put your comments in there and we will respond back to you. Get your comments on there, all that good stuff. Or you can post to our Facebook wall at facebook.com/playingdevilsadvocate and we'll get your comments there. Or you can even send us a tweet at PDA_Miss KiKi. That's PDA_MSKIKI, and we'll make sure your comment gets on air at some point throughout the show. If you want to know more about our guests, our hosts, our experts, all that stuff, or to purchase any Playing Devil's Advocate merchandise, you can always go to KiKiRichardson.com and click on the links and find out all you can find out about us. You can purchase a copy of my book there, The Other Woman Code of Conduct, What Every Other Woman Should Know and Men Too. Or you can go to the iTunes store, type in my name, KiKi Richardson, and you can download an electronic copy of this book right here. Trust me, it's well worth your money. Trust me. Believe me. Now that I've gotten all of that out of the way, I need to bring in the cast of characters that will be riding shotgun with me tonight. First up, you know her. You love her. She's a fallen angel. She coined phrases like lube is for amateurs. Make sure you got your get out and fuck free card. And last week she hit us with the ba-doom doom. She said either you rub it out or I suck it out. I'm just saying, those are her words, not mine. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me and welcome to the show, Miss Sporty, Sparky Angel. You nasty. That's all I gotta say. I can't hear you, but you're nasty.
Whatever.
Welcome back, girlie.
Greetings. How are you?
I am wonderful, wonderful. Before we bring on our testosterone, I just want to remind everybody that it is already almost the end of April, And if you're in the Atlanta area, y'all might can catch Cousin Chan in a swimsuit this weekend. We'll be at a pool party, y'all. Y'all know one of our Man Crush March roundtable, Man Crush March participants, Eddie Drummond is having his birthday party, and it's a pool party. And this Saturday. So if you're in the Atlanta area and y'all want to see Cousin Chan in a swimsuit,
Not particularly.
holla at me. You ain't in the Atlanta area, so I ain't talking to you. Holla at me. I can give y'all the goods. All right. Speaking of Chan in a swimsuit, let's bring on our testosterone.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, y'all met him first here on the show when we did our Man Crush March series, and he was on our Man's Guide to Family and Fatherhood, and he has become a repeat offender. We're happy to have him every time he shows up. He always shows out. Help me in welcoming Mr. Rob Carter the Fourth. Come on in here, Rob.
Where's my drum roll? There we go.
You know what? Here's the thing. I'm going to have to get you some intro music.
Yeah, let's do that.
I got to figure out what I'm going to use for you, though.
Yeah, okay.
It's going to be good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, tonight's show is back in the day, old school. We are talking about all the things that used to happen back in the old school that we kind of have steered away from. Do you remember back in the day when you did something wrong in your neighborhood, and like before you even got home, about 4 or 5 people had already jumped down your throat and got on your case and then took you home and told your parents about it? You remember like when you had to be in the house before the street lights came on, and even when you was in school, you know, there was some regulations that you had to abide by. So if you can remember like old school music, old school values, going outside and play, and the time before cell phones and the internet, this is the show for you. We're going to ask you to share some of your nostalgic moments with us and help us figure out which parts we need to bring back that somehow have gotten lost along the way. So I'm excited about this one. Speaking of old school, this is on a personal note. For those of you guys, if this is your first time actually meeting Rob here on the air with us, we have history. We go way back. Him, me, and Cousin Chan, we used to pretty much be together almost every day for years. For years at a time. I told y'all he's one of the reasons why they call me Lil Hitler today. And so back in the day, when rap music was really rap music, when hip-hop was really hip-hop, I used to dabble in it myself. I shouldn't even call it dabble because I actually used to do it, but they bamboozled me. This guy right here, Rob Carter, this little light-skinned, green-eyed, hazel-eyed man right here that y'all looking at, he used to rap himself, right? Yeah. And so me and Chan were his background dancers, and we had our whole little, we had like merchandise. And
wow.
So before the show, y'all, during our pre-show, after our pre-show shenanigans, it's always amazing how we catch all the good stuff after the cameras are not rolling. But Rob pulled out some paraphernalia, some merchandise from back in the day when he was rapping. And Rob, you want to share it with everybody so they can see it?
All right, so this was one of our T-shirts here that was way back. Now this was actually, you know, after a minute. This is when we got with Mouse and all, and it wasn't just me by myself and y'all dancing. So we got a little uppity there. I want to say Tone Loc wore one of these on MTV Raps one day too.
Wow, I gotta find that footage.
Yeah, because I didn't see it. Somebody told me because I did send a couple down there to Delicious Vinyl. But this is If I could get the album cover, because y'all actually own this.
Yeah.
Back of the album cover, y'all can't see this. This is one of our backstage access passes, you know.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That was kind of unofficial.
But they did what it needed to do. So back in the day, y'all, I'm gonna just let y'all know. Back in the day, we used to roll out together. And I mean, we did we performed with some of the greatest. Hey, Rob, let me ask you this before we get into some of the other stuff. You remember when I cursed out Big Daddy Kane?
I don't remember. I wasn't. Was I there? Was I there?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You were there.
It was probably that same show, though. Was it that same show?
It was the show with Queen Latifah.
Queen Latifah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So we ended up shutting it down because they wouldn't let me back.
That is correct. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's how you know we talk about old school for real. I just told you, Big Daddy Kane, Queen Latifah, Special Ed. That should just kind of give you an inkling of how it was going down with us. So, just so y'all have a little history lesson on Rob's cousin Chan and KiKi. I'm not going to even tell y'all my rap name because I don't want y'all trying to go and Google me.
Let me throw this out. I got that on VHS if I can get it digitized.
Oh, no.
I got that show. I tried to put it in a VCR, and it looked all fuzzy, but it's there. And I don't know if that was the VCR or the tape, but I got that.
Oh, wow, we got to get that.
I can get it digitized. I can get it digitized.
All right, I got that.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, y'all might actually get a chance to see me spit a little bit. We can get that digitized. Sporty down there shaking her head. Why you shaking your head, woman?
I was probably too little to remember any of this.
Oh, whatever. You older than me. I was a teenager. I ain't had no business doing none of the crap that I was doing, but I did it anyway. With that being said, talk about being too little to do crap you ain't had no business doing. Remember back in the day when you was in school and you showed your ass how your teacher could whoop your ass so that they could keep order in their class? Now, we at the point if the teacher raised their voice and look at you kind of crazy, they can lose their job, and they've turned over the power to children, and now there's no authority in school. You was actually scared to act up in school. I remember in the 4th grade, I had this teacher. Her name was Miss Allen. I'll never forget it. And everybody knew before you even got to Miss Allen's class, she had her friend named Big Ben. And Big Ben was this yardstick that she had taped. Yes, and she had 2 of them together, taped together. So if you showed out, you was gonna be introduced to Big Ben. And one day I was just yammering on in class, not paying attention. I was finished disturbing other people, and she had told me a couple times to be quiet. And I actually got a chance to meet Big Ben, and I went home and told my mama, thinking my mama was gonna get at her. Right. My mama was like, "What'd you do?" And I told her, and she was like, "Okay." And then she called the school and go tell the teacher, anytime she get out of line, you got my permission to get in that ass. That's basically what she told her.
Wow.
You can't do that now.
But that's real talk. I mean, it used to be that way, and I'm gonna tell you, now you got all these problems. First of all, you got folks coming up, you got mamas and dads finna come up and hem the teacher up if they say the wrong thing to their kid. But then when the kid is acting a fool, who to blame? We go back and forth. You can't touch my kid, but then you ain't disciplining your kid either.
Right.
So that's why folks ain't got no. I mean, it's discipline. It's the difference between discipline and abuse, and that's my thing. You got to discipline folks.
Well,
they got no rules. They got no rules.
The problem with discipline and abuse is what we call discipline back in the day is now called abuse today.
Right.
And I'm gonna give you a prime example. Since my mama wanna chime in on this show, I'm getting ready to tell on her. She in the chat room talking mess. So my mama used to, she didn't have a problem with whipping me. And I was not always deserving of such things. But when you talk about at school, so I purposely got kicked out of Catholic high school because I was tired of being in Catholic school, being in Holy Alcatraz all them years. So she decided to put me in her old high school where the teachers could watch me, and they were her friends, and they would call her if I acted up. But her instructions were, I don't care what you do, you just better still bring me straight A's. So I did that,
Yeah, you got to be careful on telling certain kids shit like that because they take advantage of it. But yeah, I mean, you had to have some type of discipline. You were actually afraid of what would happen when you got called to the principal's office. You were actually afraid to get detention or to get suspended. Now it's like a badge of honor. You know what I mean? It's like detention is worse. Detention is worse than they act worse in detention than what got you to go to detention.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because the detention dude can't keep control of you either, so he can't do nothing.
Not at all.
Now it's like a party.
Yeah, it's like remember back in the day, they used to call it the Audi home.
The Audi home.
Yes. Juvie, but that's what detention is like. The Audi home. It's like a bunch of, it's crazy. It's like, it's insane that we have taken the authority away from the places that they need to be. I mean, when we talking about even just the teachers, taking the power to discipline your child away from the parent. I remember the time, I used to get in trouble all the time. I know it's hard to believe, but I did. And so I remember one time when I found out that you could like get in trouble for child abuse, I called myself gonna tell my mama I was gonna call child abuse hotline on her. And she was like, well, what's the number? Cause I'm gonna call them. They can come get your ass. Cause I ain't got to deal with this. She pulled my card. She called my bluff. And then, by the time I changed my mind, I still got my ass whooped. But the point is that fear of my mom turned to a healthy respect for authority and for her. And I don't think that nowadays these kids have any respect for authority. They don't have respect for their elders. They don't have respect for anybody, not even themselves.
Right. Yeah. And that leads to all, half the shit that we hear about folks on the news is because of that. It all stems down to a lack of respect for any kind of guidelines or boundaries because ain't nobody ever put them in check.
Yeah.
That's real.
Let me tell you what Marlene did to me, KiKi and Rob.
You can't talk about Mama Marlene.
I'm going to talk about her, especially because she in the chat room cutting up.
Yeah, she called you a liar.
Yeah, well, I'm getting ready to tell on her, but I can't call her names because she'll come across the street and get me. But my mama was so upset with me because I used to take her belt when she would whoop me. I was a runner and I would always take her stuff when she would hit me. So she called me up in the bathroom one day. I went in the bathroom, called myself trying to get out of a whooping, and she came in there. I had on t-shirt and panties, and I took her belt, and she was like, keep it. I was like, oh, she ain't never said that. So I stick my head out the bathroom door. Here come this little 3-foot yellow woman with a frying pan, one of them cast iron skillets.
That's what you get.
So I ran down the hallway and out the front door with her winter coat on and nothing else. And it was snow outside. I caught myself running away from home, ran down the back alley to where the little alley mechanics was, and they were like, oh, that's Marlene's daughter. So I called myself climbing into a car to hide from her. I was like, don't take me back home. I ain't going back there. We taking you back. You Marlene's daughter. So they took me back home. Mama said she wasn't looking for me. She ain't care. But they brought me back in that house. And I was really, really pissed off because she kicked my ass anyway.
Good. You deserve it. I ain't never tried running away, but that kind of touched on something that I was thinking about in terms of back in the day, right? And give me just a minute. So for those of you guys who just may be joining us, this is Playing Devil's Advocate. I am your host, Miss KiKi, the consummate provocateur, and we are joined with Sporty Spunky Angel and Rob Carter IV as we talk about back in the day, old school things. And if you want to be a part of the conversation, our chat room is right there. You can post our Facebook wall at facebook.com/playingdevilsadvocate. You can even send us a tweet at _Miss KiKi, and we'll get your comment on air. We want to hear about your scenarios, things that you remember from back in the day that we don't, do anymore or whatever. Anything like that, be a part of the conversation tonight. But Sporty brought up something that made me think of it. Back in the day, everybody in your neighborhood knew you.
Yeah.
You knew your neighbors, they knew you, they knew their kids, and they knew everybody. And so if you were caught doing something you ain't had no business doing, a lot of times it would make it home before you got home.
Yep.
They would have been called and told. It was a community effort. Everybody was like, yeah. I remember one time, them cheers that we used to do on the street. I don't know if anybody from not from Chicago, but little girls back in the day used to do these little cheers on the street, like tell it, Tell it like it is. Come on and tell it. Tell it like it is. My name is KiKi.
Tell it.
I'm on the line.
Tell it.
And I'm going to do it.
Tell it.
With Aquarius sign.
Tell it.
Hey, you know what? Hey, you know what? You can kick my butt. Ooh, tell it right. I got caught saying you can kiss my butt. Baby, let me tell you something. Before I got to them concrete steps on 63rd and Maryland, Dorothy met me halfway through the block talking about some, you turning your ass up at people outside on the street? I was like, wait a minute. We was just doing cheers. She was like, cheer my ass. No, you will not be doing that. You know, because people went back and told it.
Yeah, we was dropping it like it's hot way back then.
I'm just saying it was about everybody. Neighborhood watch. It gave Neighborhood Watch a whole nother meaning. Yeah. You know, Neighborhood Watch is looking out for crime. Neighborhood Watch was actually looking out for the kids.
Yeah, well, your neighborhood was like an extension in your family back then. You knew everybody. I mean, it was a thing. You know, it was just like that, and everybody on the block knew who was who. You grew up on the block. You didn't mess with the people on the block. You know, when somebody that didn't belong on the block came, you knew because they stood out like a sore thumb. Yeah. Now, I know the guy right next door and happen to have a kid the same age as Agent Simone, so they play. I know the guy right across the street, and that's it. Yeah. I mean, and they kids on this street. They come back and forth, and nobody don't know each other. It's sad.
All the kids used to know each other. I know early on, once we started to get a little older, my mother didn't let us hang out in the neighborhood. But like when we were little, we could go and play like, you know, basketball and stuff like that, and play football out in the little vacant lot. You've got no parks in the hood. You playing football, and we talk about tackle, not touch, in a vacant lot that's got dirt, rock, sand, broken glass, all kind of shit. But you ain't care, you know. And your parents, think about it. Your parents let you go outside and do that shit. You try to send a kid outside right now. You tell a kid go outside, they think they're in trouble. Back in the day, to stay in the house.
That's what you wanted to do.
Staying in the house was trouble. It was like, man, I can't go outside. You know, we wanted to go outside. I remember my mama saying stuff like, "You come in this house one more time, I'm going back out." You know, don't stop letting all my air. I don't air condition the whole neighborhood. You know, stuff like that. Or she put water out on the porch. A big old cooler of water and ice. If like if you thirsty, you drink it. You're not gonna keep coming in and out of my house. Now you got to kick kids out the house.
Yeah, they don't want to play outside anymore. You know, I used to get mad if I would get put on punishment, and I would want to look out the window at my friends playing. Get your ass out my window. You know, she wouldn't let me even look out the window to see them playing. Or if she was really torturing me, you know, you better not step a foot off the bottom step of that porch. You know, you have to just sit on the porch.
Not torture. Torture is sitting in the window.
Watching it and you can't do it.
They would be playing rope at the bottom of the step.
Torture is having to watch them out the window. You know, you like, and they coming up to your window talking about, can't come out? No.
And then the whole block know you on punishment. You know, because it's like, well, Angelique, she on punishment. And I'm just like, oh, my goodness. So Marlene was, you know, but my mom was also about it. I'm telling you, like Rob had brought up the point, if you wasn't supposed to be on the block or anything like that, I got into a fight, you know, up on the block. And I was with my cousin, and my cousin was scary. She wouldn't fight. So, you know, and I wasn't, you know, they wanted me to join some gang or something, and I wouldn't do it. Girl, next thing I know, I'm out here fighting, and somebody went and got my mama. My mama's like, y'all not gonna all jump on my child. Me and my mama out there in a parking lot fighting these girls that's trying to be in the gang. She cussed me out because they punched her in her eye, but she was going. She went at it. She beat them girls' ass. I was cracking up.
But
so we out there fighting.
But that used to be what happened in the neighborhood. Family fights, remember that? One person, everybody, and it was family against family. It wasn't no shooting everybody and all this stuff. Y'all literally got it in. It was like, oh, you want to fight? And or if you got into with somebody and you ran away or you got beat up, it was like, you know, they gonna bring you to their house and be like, y'all gonna fight.
That happened to me.
Is that only in the hood?
I don't know. That happened to me one day. And I got jumped by these two brothers. I guess I got in an argument with the young brother, but the older brother snuck up on me, right? So they stole on me. I was living on Justine, 80th and Justine, and I used to go to Cook School on Bishop right there. Anyway, boom, stole on me and started. One of them was kicking me. Little boy was kicking me while his brother was dragging me by my afro.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Pulling me down the thing by my head. So I came home. I was hot. I ran home. I was getting like knives and shit. I ran right out the door trying to get to the house, right?
Wow.
My mom's come out, Glow don't play. She came out, chasing me, trying to figure out first where the hell I was going. But when we got to the house and she heard the story, she's like, look, God, they can't be jumping them. Y'all, they can fight them one at a time. Each one right here in the backyard, settle this and get it out. That lady wasn't letting nobody fight me, though. I'm coming up there with knives and shit. She's like, no, they ain't fighting that idiot. But that's how it was, But them same people, back to the whole block deal, those same people, though, if some shit went down, though, on the block, you wasn't like this whole kidnapping crap and folks snatching kids and that, the dude coming offering you candy that wasn't gonna happen. You see, that's the flip side to why these kids don't go out and can't go out and play right now. See, I ain't letting Agent Simone go out the front door. I mean, they got a backyard, they got the playground, they got the dog, and they got to do it right there with the next door neighbor. But out in the street, because we don't know everybody, your kids ain't safe out there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, it's a flip side to that too. And that's the thing. We need to get back to this personal, block parties. You remember block parties? Damn, that's why we bonded. They put the little horses up, no cars on the street and you do your thing.
Yeah.
That's the shit we need to go back to.
You can't now people get shot up, stabbed up.
Yeah. And that's a problem though. Yeah,
it's I missed the whole block party thing. I didn't participate in it like I wanted to. But man, I remember the loud music, all the good food.
Yeah.
Out there playing double dutch, hopscotch, Chinese jump rope, jacks.
Yes.
Playing jacks, strike out, piggy.
Yeah, strike out. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Those were the days.
Those were the days.
Most people don't even know what piggy is. They don't even know how to play strikeout.
Piggy won. That was my game. And that was me though. I used to like being a tomboy. My grandmother used to get so mad at me because I would come in the house. They send me out looking all cute and stuff, but I come back all dirty and messed up because I'm climbing trees and fences and playing softball and piggy in the parking lots and stuff, having a good time. But that's what was fun to me.
Yeah.
I enjoyed hanging out with the people on the block. We had a good time. The lights was starting to, you see that little glimmer when they get ready to start to come on, then run my ass right on down that block, get on the porch. Like, I'm right here, Mom, on the porch. I'm
but
good.
You would hear people's parents calling them.
They just call out, it's time. Yeah,
That's late, get your ass in this house. Like, man.
All I would hear is, hey, this Marcus and KiKi!
And see, that, for me, that was all I had. Because at that age, I didn't have no brothers and sisters. And my mom, she would go to school. She went to school at night. She worked at daytime. So she would call me on her break from school. So I had to be in the house when the street lights went out. But I couldn't even stay out late because everybody had to go. And then I was like, just there. But luckily, I had friends that would cross the alley, and we would open the window.
Yeah.
And we talk across the window.
Yeah. The gateway. See, for people who don't know about Chicago, we had these things called gateways, little area in between the buildings where you would walk through or whatever. And if your neighbor had a window, they was right there. Y'all just open up the window and talk to each other.
Yeah, we sit in the window.
That was hobby.
Yeah.
Did you guys have a block, some place on your block that was the house everybody went to?
Oh yeah, everybody has that.
I didn't hear what you said.
The house on the block that everybody went to.
Yeah, it was my house.
Yours was your house was that one?
Because we couldn't go nowhere. Dorothy was so strict. We couldn't go nowhere. It was us. You had to come to our house.
Yeah, they could come on the porch, but they couldn't come in the house.
Yeah, and my mom was real funny about that kind of stuff. Like, it was certain kids you couldn't play with because, if she didn't know their family, and she ain't talked to them, you can't go play on their porch or in front of their house. You know what I'm saying? So there were a lot of things that, you know, we took pride in our community. And I don't mean just black people. I mean just in neighborhoods in general. You could go to any neighborhood across any city, and it was the same camaraderie within those neighborhoods that we no longer have. And I think that is part of the breakdown in our society, is that we've become so detached from one another. You know, there wasn't no home invasions. There wasn't a whole lot of people breaking into folks' homes back in the day, because it was everybody had the nosy bitch on the block that watched every damn thing. You know what I mean? And then everybody knew everybody. So like Rob said, if you came over there and we didn't know you, people was looking at you like the side eye. They would say shit.
Who was that?
Yeah, they would check you back then. Yeah.
They would ask you, who you here to see? You lost?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yep. You lost what you did. Yep.
Well, like if you had a cousin from out of town or something coming to visit, you know, whose child are you? Who you belong to? You know, where you come from. So oh my goodness.
I'm not sure. I'm looking in the chat room and they were getting an echo. I'm not sure if one of you guys have your chat room volume on, which is causing an echo back. So you may want to go ahead and get that under control. But they're saying they used to. Dino always talking about trying to have sex. Dino, elevate.
Right.
Talking about how he used to sneak into his ex room and in his ex room he was talking about some hide and go get it. That was catch a girl, kiss a girl.
Right. He had to go get it.
Yeah. You know, it was just a lot of stuff. Let's see here. I'm trying to look at some of the stuff that's going on in the chat room. Yeah, Rob did say that it's like your neighborhood was an extension of your family. Yeah, it was just that my mama did me. That too made me look bad, yelling my name and shit. Yeah, everybody's mama did that. It was embarrassing then, but we look back on it now and it's kind of funny, you know. But I mean, there were always the bad kids on the block that you could hang out with, you know. The family that was always into some shit. Everybody, and that dynamic spanned every neighborhood. It wasn't a racial thing; it was a cultural thing that we just have gotten away from. And you know, without belaboring the point, I think we all agree that we need to go back to that. You know, the block parties, that togetherness, that knowing who your neighbor is, and you know who's supposed to be there and who's not supposed to be there, and speaking up when you see some shit that's not supposed to be.
Yeah.
You know, and we don't do that anymore. I don't know if it's out of fear, if it's out of we just don't care. I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, we need to get past that. I mean, because this kind of takes me into another thing from back in the day. Y'all can jump in with y'all at any moment, because y'all know I'll take the train and run away with it. But it takes me back to a time when people actually raised their children. You know, back in the day, you would teach them things. You know, even if you had girls, they would go to etiquette classes and all this other stuff to learn about, you know, themselves and how they should be in society. You know, there were rites of passage. There were lessons that you learned early on. Like I remember on Sundays, my mom and I would do our nails and all that other stuff, you know, and we would, you know, have conversations, and I learned how to put on pantyhose and, you know, proper things, you know, things that a lady should know. Cross your legs at the ankle and not at the knees. And
wear a slip.
You know, yes, a slip. Oh, God, slips. Anyway, don't even get me started. But you actually raised your children. And I understand that, you know, more people had to go out into the workforce. And so it kind of cut down the time that there weren't a lot of stay-at-home moms. You know, we went from, you know, the 50s and 60s where there were stay-at-home moms into the 70s where, you know, the mothers were having, because the fathers were in Vietnam or strung out on heroin from coming back from Vietnam, right? And so the moms were the ones in, you know, being out there to now, you know, everybody's working. You know what I mean? I get it, because I was a latchkey kid. You know, I got off my school bus and pulled my look, hey, pulled my key from around my neck and went in the house. You know, I get it. But my mom, there was discipline. There were consequences for my actions. There were lessons. There were things, you know, there was an open flow dialogue about things. I didn't just get whoopings just for the sake of it. I remember getting a whooping and she would say shit like, This hurts me as much as this
It
hurts.
hurt you.
That's some bullshit.
Girl.
Yeah.
Let me see. Let me whoop your ass and see how much it hurt me.
You ever get whooped out of bed out of your sleep, like waiting?
No.
You know, I'm gonna beat your ass, and you get it's anticipated, but you don't get it till you know you think everything is good. You done had your bath, washed the dishes, went to sleep, and then she came in there and whooped your ass while you was asleep, woke you up, beat your ass, and sent you right back to bed.
No, I
Yeah.
don't remember that. I remember getting woke up out of my bed to wash damn dishes.
Every dish in the house, or just the ones you left in the sink?
The ones that weren't washed. It was if
Right.
the dishes weren't washed before I went to bed, like she told us to, there better not be no dishes. You had to get up and do it.
Right. And
Girl,
see
they
that,
take
I want to jump in and say that that's the difference. Okay, so it ain't this whole busy society and the fact that the world is changing and single moms and everybody's working is bullshit. That's an excuse because back then I was raised latchkey, same as you. My mom worked, went to school, but there were expectations. And if you went through the day, you sat down, you went to sleep, and it didn't get done when she got done, she woke you up. So you knew that you had to perform, even independently. You knew you had to perform. And then it wasn't all one-sided. When they did have the time, I remember, and I'll never forget this about my mom. It was Christmas. We were living right off on 53rd and Kimbark in some apartments right across from the High Park Neighborhood Club where that park is.
Yeah.
So my mom, she worked, she brought it, but anyway, Christmas Eve night, she built all my toys because she believed, she wanted to play with them in the morning. And I woke up and I ain't had no brothers, and she sits there with me and we playing the AFX racing car. I mean, we still talk about it today. We playing air hockey and shit together. And those are the moments you remember. So like you said, you raised your kids, you interacted with them, even though you were busy, they were a priority. Too
Yeah.
many people now want to be, like who they see on fucking reality TV, so they don't want to pay attention to what they got right in front of them, kids, And
Right.
there's no relationship,
Right.
they're just not spending that time.
I mean, they raised you so much that it wasn't just them that were raising you. It was your aunt,
Yeah,
it was your uncles. I mean, I can say,
the people on that block.
like now, like Chantel and them. Chantel being the first of the bunch of our bunch, he is literally the community kid. Like
Yeah, everybody raised her. Yeah.
everybody had their hands in that. You know what I mean? And we paid attention, and we, and that's kind of what happened back then. I remember being shipped away in the summertime to go down south to Mississippi, and I'm down there going to vacation Bible school and shit.
Girl, don't even start me on that mess. Man, I mean, it was a mess, but don't even start me.
But, that was beneficial because I had the opportunity to sit at the feet of some of my elders.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And learn lessons from them and hear, and actually not just hear about the civil rights movement, not just hear about prejudice and all that, to actually experience it in Mississippi. Me, little chocolate baby. You know what I'm saying? Actually see it. Going into town and, oh no, we don't go into town or this area this time of night or this time of day. You can only go around these days and this time. And it's like, what the hell? I'm a city girl. It's like we go wherever the hell we want in Chicago. Like, no, you know what I mean? So I got the opportunity to learn those things from the elders, and they got to impart things in me. And we don't do that anymore because our elders, don't nobody respect elders like they used to.
Yeah.
Man, look, you talk now. See, down south was a whole nother ball game, Kiki. Because I will never forget every summer my mama, bless her little heart, her and my grandmother would send me down south to West Virginia, with her mother. So I guess it was my great grandmother, great aunt, whatever. We down there for the summer. I'm the only girl, so the boys are down there all the time. She's like, go outside. For the first time she seen me outside to pull this switch off a tree. I'm like, what I'm gonna do with this? Because I wouldn't pick some, she was growing watermelons and greens in the backyard. I didn't like watermelon, so I wouldn't go pick the watermelon. I was like, no. So she's like, well, go on out front. I want you to pick them switches off the tree and bring it to me. So, I'm picking this one, and my brothers are laughing at me, and they like, you gonna get the whooping. I said, for what? So I'm getting this. And she's like, pull them leaves off of it, make sure, nice and firm. So I go and I hand it to her. I got my first whooping with a switch. I said, you sent me to go get me to beat my ass with something I picked off a tree? You know,
You feel it?
initially,
She make you
huh?
feel it? You
Yeah,
just
No,
you
she was
gotta
ready to
you
go
gotta
get
peel
me.
the leaves off.
okay, you
Pull
gotta
the
pull
leaves off.
Yeah, you gotta pull the
Yeah,
leaves
she
off.
told me I had to pull the leaves off of him.
and the,
She braided them mothers
Yeah,
together.
but and
not
don't
just the
pull off
leaf.
the little switches.
You got to pull the little bark. You got to peel the bark off so it's wiry.
Yeah. Well, it was my first one. Eventually, I learned how to do it professionally. By the end of the summer, I knew how to pick my switch to get my ass whooped. But them damn dirt roads and playing with them
Guess
people,
what?
look, girl.
It taught us accountability.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
It taught us that for every action, there's a reaction. You know, if
Oh,
you do
honey.
something, there's a consequence for that action. You might like it, you might not like it, but it's coming. And I don't think that we are doing that with these kids nowadays. They are so indulgent, and they feel so feel like they are entitled to stuff. We had
Yep.
to earn shit. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
Oh yes.
I didn't get an allowance. I earned an allowance.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Because my
Mhm.
mama, first of all, money wasn't growing on trees, and second of all, she didn't want me getting the stupid idea that somehow money came out of nowhere, that I got
Mm-hmm.
something for nothing. Because not as hard as she worked, would I walk around and think that I'm getting, something for nothing. So she got that set straight early on in the game. And oh, speaking of, since it's 420,
Girl, I was
somebody
finna talk about it.
hang on. Somebody said in the chat room, remember when people used to, wait, I want to quote them exactly what they said. Remember when they smoked weed in papers?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't call it weed then. Think about it. It was pot. It was herb. It
Grass.
was grass. It was everything else. But think about the evolution of how weed has just evolved.
Girl, it went in tops, 1.5s.
Oh, they talking about zigzags.
That was the 1.5. Yup.
Yep.
They talking about zigzags. That was back
Girl.
in the day. Now you got flavored blunts and all kinds of stuff. And it's like, if you got, and then all the different kinds of weed. Don't even get me started. I can't even keep up with it. It was just weed back in the day. Now you got hydro and loud and chronic, and
I couldn't even begin.
they got all kinds of stuff. I will just say this. Big shout out to my folks in LA. People think they smoke weed, but they ain't really smoke no weed. So they been in California and had some of that sticky icky. And they had some, you got people who think they can smoke, and they smoke, and you get some of that stuff from Chicago. They get from LA, and they get a couple, and they like I told you, you cannot smoke like you smoke when you go to Cali. You can't. I'm just saying. Not that I know from my own personal experience. I'm just saying.
Girl, my mama school you on that. She used to keep us in a shoebox under the middle of her bed, and I'm telling you, she didn't. And we used to, me and my next door neighbor, Derek, we used to go under my mama's bed, take her weed out, and replace it with leaves, and put it back in the box and give it to her. We would crush them up.
You was trying to
put
get
it
your
back
ass
in the
whooped,
box.
what she was trying to do, wasn't you?
Oh yeah, look. My mama used to always whoop my ass. She would take the extension cord and tie me to the chair so she could whoop my ass because I wouldn't run.
That was abuse.
No, but listen, that first lick, I was out of that shit. I was gone. I'm telling you.
See, here's the thing. I was too afraid to run because I knew at some point I was going to get caught. I couldn't run forever. I had to live there. So it was like, why run? Just get it over with and be done with it.
That shit hurt.
Of course it's supposed to hurt. I mean, it's just like, but my thing is, why make it worse on myself than it already is? So I just would take what I had to take and got it going. Speaking of this, before we do our drink of the week, and since we're talking about the drink of the week, this is about to be the drink of the week. Remember Bumpy Face? Remember Seagram? I remember Mad Dog 2020. I'm sorry, MD. That's the street name we gave it. Bulls Farm, Cisco,
Alex Road. Wild Irish Rose.
Wild Irish Rose.
The rose.
Oh my gosh. Remember those drinks that people used to, because here's the thing. Back in the day, it was the neighborhood wine.
Yeah.
Now it's the neighborhood crackhead.
Yeah.
Or the
yeah.
meth. It's like the worst you had was somebody to get drunk and fall asleep out on the curb. You know what I mean? He was harmless. He didn't do nothing to nobody. You know what I'm saying? The neighborhood drunk didn't bother nobody. He just got drunk.
Yeah.
That's it. Now, crackheads, they doing all kinds of crazy stuff. They said nowadays weed is super duper. Oh, you said Miami weed ain't no joke either?
Yeah, no, it ain't no joke.
Yeah, no.
You bumping up that California weed, but
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I have seen the California weed put some real weed smokers on their ass. Did this bitch just pull out?
Oh, I can believe it. Huh?
Did she just pull out some stuff?
Yeah, she did.
That's a new bottle of Cisco.
Yeah, she said, this ain't back in the day. We still doing this.
You need to be ashamed of yourself.
Girl, this bottle is about 8 years old. Do you hear me?
Yeah, see, no, back in the day, it didn't look like that.
No, it did not.
Yeah, that's a pretty colorful little thing. It didn't look like that back in the day. So since we talking about drinks, this might spark some more conversation because this Negro here called Cousin Chan, she done brought the game up another notch with this one. Somebody asked me earlier, they were like, Jay String asked me earlier on the page, he said, hey, KiKi, is Cousin Chan gonna put some Now and Laters or some Jolly Ranchers in the drink? And I was like, ooh. I said, you mean Now and Laters? Because we don't say Now and Laters. I was like, you from Chicago. No, I was like, you mean Now and Laters and some wine candy? Because we don't call it Jolly Ranchers.
Yeah, wine candy.
Wine candy. Oh, my God.
Like,
yeah.
You mean wine candy?
That green apple.
Yes. And he was like, yeah. Yeah, so, but no, she didn't. She took it a step further, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm just going to let y'all know, in honor of 420, she brought it for you guys. I don't know where she found the ingredients. I don't know how. It don't even matter. I'm going to let her tell y'all more about it than I ever could. Ladies and gentlemen, Cousin Chan, tell them about the Mary Jane Mojito.
Hey everybody, tonight's drink of the week is Mary Jane Mojito. Tonight we're going to use 2 ounces of hemp infused rum, 2 teaspoons of white sugar, a dash of bitters, some fresh mint sprigs, club soda, and a lime. And what we're going to do with this is, in a tall glass, we're going to put 4 mint leaves, 3 lime wedges, white sugar, and the dash of the bitters, and we're going to muddle those, then add ice. Pour the hemp infused rum and then top it off with the club soda. And there you have it, a Mary Jane Mojito. All right, guys, be safe, enjoy, drink responsibly. I'll see you next week.
I'm surprised she didn't do Mary Jane for her background music.
Right, that would have been cute. But look what I found in my purse.
You found some wine candy.
Yes, girl. I found me a green apple, and I found me a cherry. I found me a red one.
But even the candy has changed. Cause
it didn't say Jolly Rancher all big like that.
Yeah. No, it did not.
But if you think about it, if you think about Now and Laters, not Now and Laters, because I want y'all to be clear. You think about Now and Laters, they chewy now. They weren't chewy.
Yeah.
They were hard as fucking rock. And if you wanted them to get soft, you would open up the little wax tape, put it on the radiator.
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah.
I mean, am I just telling how ghetto hood I was?
No, that's real.
That's the real deal right there. Real.
I'm just saying, maybe it was just me. But the candy has changed. I mean, and oh my God, y'all remember like the nut chews? Boston baked beans, of course. Which one is that?
These are Dum Dums.
Dum Dums.
They still got Red Hots.
Yes, Red Hots.
Lemon heads.
Yeah, lemon heads, but you know they got fancy. They got grape heads now. And they got all kind of fancy shit. Please.
What about those Mike and Ike's and
Yeah.
What's the other candy? The one where I forgot what you call it, but you stick the little stick in there and you dip the Kool-Aid out of it.
Oh, yeah. With you dip it, yeah.
I forgot the name of it.
Stick or something, lick 'em stick or something like that.
I forgot the name. Remember the fake cigarettes that was gum?
Yeah, and you blow the dust out.
Those were awesome.
Oh, man.
Oh, the big blow gums. The big blow gums. Well, it was candy on the outside, but gum on the inside.
Yeah, and them jawbreakers.
Yeah,
Ooh,
I
yeah.
hate jawbreakers.
Man.
What about the little Kool-Aid wax crap? It's like the little wax thing.
Juice
too,
in
got
it.
some little juice in it.
Yes.
Yeah, when you chew them.
Yes. Or the ring pops.
Oh yeah, that was
Or the candy, the
bugs and shit up.
the
Oh yeah,
necklace.
with the what you call them? You keep biting them. And then,
Yes.
They had them in the bracelets and they had them in the neck too.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Those were the days. I mean, that was pure fun when you wanted to go to the candy lady house to get you to get you penny candy.
Right, you get your candy because like we had that right in our apartment complex. There was when I moved to Miami, there was a candy lady, and you go there and you get the little Dixie cup, frozen cup, and whatever candy you wanted. That was
Or the snow cone lady. You get the snow cones. You know, somebody put in the chat room Pop Rocks. Pop Rocks still around. I use those.
Yeah, Pop Rocks have a purpose.
I'm just saying. Pickles with the peppermint in it.
Yeah.
Pixie sticks.
Man, pixie sticks. Oh, okay, anyway. Yeah, but those were the good old days. That was when, it was sugar. It was just sugar. It wasn't all these extra ingredients that they put in there, preservatives and all that other stuff. It was just fucking sugar.
Here go my candy bracelet. I just put it on.
I'm going to need for you. Everything we bring up, you come pulling out the stash.
You know why? I'm into baby's Easter basket candy.
Oh, okay. They talk about Pez. Yeah, remember the Pez with the little head?
Yeah.
And
I had a Woody Woodpecker one.
Did you?
Yeah. Speaking of Woody Woodpecker.
Wonder Woman.
Speaking of Woody Woodpecker, the cartoons. Remember Saturday morning cartoon and Schoolhouse Rock?
Oh yeah, Schoolhouse Rock was cool. Yeah.
I mean, I learned about how Bills and what about huh?
I still know them songs.
I do too.
Yeah, that's how I passed the 8th grade.
Yeah, you sit there.
The preamble.
Yes, I'm on the hill, and I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill.
Yeah. Establish justice, sure, domestic tranquility. Provide for the common defense. Promote
welfare and promote the liberty to ourselves and our posterity.
Do or die.
And establish the Constitution.
Yes.
The United States of America.
Yeah, no, she wanted to join in singing with us. What she had.
Yeah, they talking about the Reading Rainbow. They talk about Super Friends, Fat Albert, Tom and Jerry, Flintstones, Mighty Mouse,
Jetsons.
The Jetsons.
Oh, the Jacksons. Hey, I got one for you.
Okay.
Who remembers the Banana Splits?
La 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 la. That was my shit.
Yeah, the Banana Splits. That was
my shit, right?
Oh my goodness. Woo. Man, but that was the stuff you used to look forward to. Like in my house during the week, we couldn't eat cereal. We didn't eat cereal during the week. My mom would actually fix breakfast. We would have a hot breakfast going to school. So we would look forward to Saturday morning eating cereal and watching cartoons. You know, Justice League, Super Friends, all of them shit. I couldn't tell you nothing about them right now, but that was the stuff that we used to do. I remember when freaking video games were in their infancy and it was at table tennis.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Remember when you used to try to watch porn? And it was that on TV, and then you had that little squiggly and it wasn't even real porn at the time. It was like soft porn, but
yeah,
but it was porn to us because we ain't never seen no stuff like that.
Like this, well, I could see it on mine.
Right, but right now,
twisted.
the stuff that would be considered soft porn then, we watch every day on TV.
Every day. And the reason people don't look forward to the like Saturday morning cartoons is because now cartoons come on all the time. Cartoon Network, Cartoon this. So you've given up everybody so much that there's no value to it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's a lot of the stuff, just, all around. It's just everything is in it. We are in a phase of excess.
Mm-hmm.
It's so much an overindulgence. We don't have any limits. And I think that's part of the problem with the kids nowadays is that we don't give them limits. We're buying them everything they want before it's time. I mean, you got 7-year-olds with Apple Watches. I'm like, look, I'm in my 40s. I don't even have a damn Apple Watch, and I work. How do you know what I mean?
Thank you.
It's like, why do they have all the amenities of somebody who actually has a job? I mean, it just doesn't make sense. They get everything. They have nothing. See, for us, it was something to look forward to. You look forward to getting a car, or getting a job. When you was 15 and could get that work permit. You know what I'm saying? But not now. You know what I mean? Not now. They don't want to work.
Girl, my goal was to get the key to unlock the phone off the desk in the living room so I could talk on the phone. Or I would hide Marlene found out about it now. They would take the phone privileges away, but I had my little Princess Trimline phone where I would go in my room and plug it up so I could talk on the phone when I was on punishment. Because that was punishment. I couldn't talk on the phone. I couldn't watch TV. I went and got my little phone. Quit playing.
Just disobedient. See, you would have never survived in Dorothy's home. You never, ever would have survived. Because that shit would not have been tolerated. Your ass would have been gone. You'd have been living on the streets some goddamn where.
Listen.
My mama, I'm going to tell you how my mama rocked out. My mama used to always say, there don't need to be no closed doors around here. The only door in this place that need to be closed other than the front and back door would be the bathroom door when you went there. Don't close no doors around here, right? And I called myself getting sassy. And I closed the door. And she said one time. And then I came home from school the next day, and I didn't have a fucking door anymore.
Yeah, I had that happen. My door was taken away from me several times.
I didn't have a door. And then she said she got nice, and she gave me a curtain. It was a sheer curtain. But it was a curtain nonetheless. But my mama didn't tolerate that. It was not okay, and that was not cute. And here's the thing. Dorothy didn't play that shit.
Well, you know why I got my door taken? Because I used to slam my door or slam a door.
You can't slam doors.
Slam another damn door in this house, and she would take the door.
It would have taken one time for you to slam a door, and my mama tell you not to slam a door. If you didn't get extra chances. It wasn't none of that shit. She told you one time.
I got my ass beat every time I did it, but I was just a little defiant ass little girl.
You wouldn't have made it. Not in Dorothy's house.
That's what my grandma used to say. She said, I'm glad you was born when you were, because you'd have been a dead nigga hanging from a tree at 4, the way you behave around here. And I'm like, oh, Lord.
That would have not ever gone by. Nope. And I think that, in parenting and in the next generation, a lot of times we allow children to get away with things that we weren't allowed to get away with. And it gets, the lines of discipline get looser and looser and looser and looser. So I think we're almost at the point now where there are no boundaries, especially since you have the authorities and the government intervening and saying you don't have any control, and they have actually handed the control over to the children. The inmates are running the asylum.
And that's what's happening. That's what's happening because you don't want to do it, and you're forcing government to regulate it. And that shit ain't cool. Like my kids, they get raised just like I think, that I would want to be and need to be raised. They got discipline. I'm still traditional. We do certain things at certain times. Like Friday night is movie night. I remember all the way back when, I was living there in Atlanta. And Chantel and Nell, we would have time. We would do the weekends. We had events where we spent together,
Mm-hmm.
And people need to do that. Now it's, we got all this technology, raise them, watch TV, do this. You got to connect and you got to have boundaries, man. I mean, I don't know, but we need to go back.
At the table with each other, everybody on their cell phone.
Yeah.
Right. We want that stuff. They ain't answer the phone during dinner time.
Well, my mom, it's funny you say that.
Mm.
It's funny you say that because yesterday we went over to my mom's house because it was Simone's birthday. And yeah, my mom was like in the middle of the whole thing. She said, "Hey, next time y'all come, y'all checking y'all phones at the door."
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Checking your phones at Nell, my wife. You know, I checked a couple things, you know, but she like, yeah, this ain't what we about to do.
Yeah, it wasn't one of those things. We literally spent time together. Remember good old Would You Go With Me?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Yes, no, maybe.
Yep.
I'm just saying.
Oh.
Or for those of you guys who are a little older, you know, let's go steady. Remember wearing your boyfriend's Letterman's jacket? Remember those cool things, you know? Or you getting his class ring and wearing it around your necklace? You know, remember that stuff?
My favorite thing to tell him was, "I quit you."
If I said I quit you, I'll quit you. I wasn't just saying it just because
I meant it. I quit you because it was a new cute boy at the school.
No. See, yeah. I would. I'm still the same way I'm right now. I would have rather been single and do whatever I wanted to do than have to keep going through those changes. It was like, oh, if I'm single, I can go out on many dates. Remember dating when people would actually ask
For real.
and they would plan it and they would pick you up and y'all would have stuff to do and then y'all would, you know, they would bring you home and then there was that anticipation of, is he gonna kiss me? Should I go in for the kiss and not kiss? And now it's, are we gonna fuck or not fuck? You know what I mean? It's like, well, how did we get so far?
Yeah.
We got chaperones.
What happened to the in-between? Yeah.
Yeah, what happened to that?
Oh, chaperones.
We got chaperoned on our dates.
Oh, I remember that. I was
Yep. She sent me to my brother's one of his first dates. I'll never forget, he wanted to take his girlfriend to the show to see Blackula. And it was at the Met on 47th Street. And he took us to the movies. You gotta take your sister. And I sat right in between them. Boy, he was livid that night. But I got payback because my first date, my mama went with me. And he took us both out.
I went on one of those.
Chaperoned us.
I remember my dad would chaperone me on my first date.
I went on one of those. Oh, we.
Yeah, we went to the movie.
Yeah, it's always at the movies. That's what mine was too.
I'm trying to remember what movie it was. I think was it the Never Ending Story? No. It was E.T. It was E.T.
Shut up, girl.
It was E.T. Yep, sure was. Oh my God, I remember that. But remember the drive-in?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, get put in your pajamas with your parents and y'all go to the movies.
No, I'm talking about on a date.
Oh, well, yeah.
Well,
those two.
The drive-ins were just cool altogether, you know, because whether it's family or the date.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know, we used to just go. Sometimes we throw folks in the trunk and then
in the trunk of the car.
It's just
that was fun.
It was so much fun, that whole anticipation of getting ready for a date or remember just asking somebody out to a dance or being asked out to a dance.
Yeah.
The anticipation, the whole dating thing and the anticipation, the whole genuineness of the girl boy sensation back then was just so much better. Because it was that innocent transition from kid to young adult or whatever. Because see, now everything is so uncensored that they go right into it. They miss that. But I remember, you know, just like when kissing was the big thing, because in grinding, you do the kiss and grind for like, you know, in the dark little corner of the house, and people go off. Yeah.
While you were at a party with a plugger in the basement.
Oh my God! Or even just the house parties themselves. You know,
yeah.
Just, you know, playing cards, talking shit. People done fried some fish, and there's some. You know, it's because I remember like my family used to do that every weekend. You know, together it would be a fresh fish fry, or be some chicken, or it'd be something, and the grown folks would be drinking and playing cards and talking shit and listening to the blues and all kind of shit, and we would be outside playing or inside playing, depending on what the weather was like, and it was just so much fun. It was such a more innocent, just kind of it's all about let's just have a good time. Now it's about you. Everybody's on edge, waiting for some shit to jump off.
Mm-hmm.
We were just having a good time, and if some shit jumped off, it was like, what the fuck? Why you gotta ruin the fuck? You know.
Right. Yeah.
The worst we had to worry about was somebody getting too drunk, knocking over a Christmas tree, or getting too drunk, bumping into the record player, making his music scratch. You know what I'm saying? Stupid shit like that. You know.
Don't mess with the record player though. Don't be scratching records.
We all had it happen. You know, I remember going to this dance my mama told me I couldn't go to. It was at Holy Cross. I'd never forget it. And she was like, you couldn't go. And I had told her I was going over to my friend Paris's house. And Paris lived like diagonally down the street from Holy Cross. I went there, and my mama was like looking for me, and Marcus was like, she said I thought she was going, and she was like, I'm going down there. She had curlers in her hair, house coat on.
Oh God!
And she was coming down. Marcus was like, no, mama, I go, don't. I go, and he got down there, he was like, you better come on. And by the time we was halfway, she was halfway up the block, it was stuff like that. But how did my mama know I was at Holy Cross? Somebody damned me out. You know what I mean? So it takes us back full circle. But that was the fun of it all. It was all innocent. It was all innocent.
Yeah, it did have a whole, Happy Days vibe to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Back then. So yeah, we need to go back to that. Now I'm gonna throw one out though.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw it ain't all, it's still on the same subject, but you have to have been a kid in Chicago at the time. When we were shorties, this before y'all, because I'm a little older than y'all, but we used to get all dressed up. I remember I had some Stacey Adams. It was like Christmas time. One of these days, I had some Stacey Adams on. I had my hat on, this big, I don't know what kind of fake little long coat it was, but I was Max Julian to the T. I was, all Max. And we would get on the train and go downtown to the movies. And back then, that was like going to Times Square because it was the State and Lake Theater.
State Lake, yeah.
Good.
And artists, you see these lights, man. It was like, whoa, you were in there, and it was an all day thing because you see 2 movies,
That's the Oriental.
The double feature.
Yeah. Oh man. And we'd go down and watch shit like Five Fingers of Death and Bruce Lee movies and shit. It was just,
I remember seeing Scarface at State Lake.
Yeah. See.
That was the day my sister, me, my brother, and my sister would get up and go on the train, and we would either go downtown or we would go right there on 63rd Street.
Okay.
It was at the roads. I don't know what was
the name of it. Yeah. I don't even remember the name of it, but we would go there because that was back in the day. For people that's not from Chicago, that was back in the day when we had super transfers where you could buy a transfer and use it all damn day. And we would literally go downtown. We would get popcorn. The whole 9. And it was, like you said, it was like the Times Square.
It was,
the hustle and bustle, Marshall Fields and all that other stuff.
It felt like you were just, you would, and we.
You was gone in.
We looked like the little shorties from Once Upon a Time in America. You ever see that? The shorties that got all dressed up. We looked like that. Go downtown.
Did you go to the game room?
Yeah, it would. Well, see, game rooms wasn't back then. This was a little bit before game rooms, but yeah.
But it was so much fun. We were happy going to watch a movie.
Yeah. It was an outing. Now, the cinemas, everything's so whatever, it's in and out,
Yeah.
And you could go with your friends.
Right.
That was like the one time Sunday after church, you and your friends could go together. And your parents would meet that parent, and they would know all the kids are going downtown to the show. So that was so good.
Huh? Skating rink.
Oh, yes, the skating rink was a thing. See, now I'm going to tell y'all something about my family. Y'all remember the Loop skating rink on 95th Street? That was my family's skating rink. So I was always there, for that 12 to 3, that 4 to 7, and that midnight ramble. Boy, I was in love with that DJ. I wasn't but 12 years old. But, baby, every time that child played, I call your name. And he said it was for Angel. I was just in love with my skates on couple skate while he DJing, honey.
I don't know how to skate. I didn't skate. I
don't know. You missed the whole little era. We used to catch the bus.
I would go. I just didn't skate.
But that was part of it. You got to be out there. You missed the whole little era. We had the skates. We get the neon colored wheels with the silent ball bearings and whatever.
Precision wheels.
We used to go out to Markham and skate.
Oh yeah.
What about the one up north, United States of America? We used to go to the rink a lot too, me, Chan, and Lanise. But anyway, we're getting too local with it. People that's not from Chicago gonna be like, what the hell are y'all talking about? But again, that was all the fun that we used to have. We used to go to the drive-in. We used to go skating. We used to go to the movies. And those were all fun things to do. I mean, you can't do that stuff now. I remember back in the day, you know, when well, this is, you know, like dating and stuff, and still goes kind of back to the sex and stuff. But remember when sex was a secret? Like, nobody knew you was fucking until you ended up pregnant. I mean, they knew it, but they didn't know it. You know what I'm saying? And teen pregnancy was like taboo. But like right now, they got TV shows called about teen moms, and they got pregnancy packs and all this stupid shit. And it's like, what? Who was it? It was like the worst thing in the world if you got pregnant when you were in high school or something like that. It was like, oh, my life is over.
They would talk about you if you was a virgin.
I'm like, okay.
You were a hoe if you put your mouth on a boy's.
Somebody was lying, because if all the boys was having sex, who was they fucking? Everybody wasn't no goddamn virgin that was claiming to be virgin. I'm just saying.
But that's the point. Everything was so. I mean, now everything's so uncensored and so okay that, you know, that whole secrecy, the whole intimate nature of it is gone. You know, it's really no intimacy. It is just fucking. It ain't no intimacy. It's just an act now. You know, like going to play basketball. You know, yeah, I just went to have sex, you know. Oh, okay, cool. You know, whatever. Who was it? Yeah, all right, cool. Boom. You know, it's just, it takes too much out of it. I think that the kids are missing some internal shit that went on with us because it's so desensitized.
But I think also too, though, because it's all over the media, it's everywhere. It's on the internet, it's on TV, it's on this, it's on that, it's in their music. Our music was romantic.
Right, it was.
You know what I mean? Our music was beautiful. It was poetry set to music, and even the music itself was poetic.
Yeah, no, the music was a lot better. I mean, the music was the kind of music.
It required you to know the skill of playing an instrument.
even the lyrics, like you said, were more romantic. You could take a song and learn it and sing it to a girl, or you could let the song do the mood setting and talking. Now, if you use one of the current songs, boom, ain't no romance. You just talk.
Right.
That's fun.
You know, slap it up, whip it,
going
push
down
it
in
down,
the DM.
you know, it's straight to it.
Like, think about it. Or was it just me that got these? Remember, you would get messages and it would just be the song playing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I used to.
Well, think about it. When somebody used to give you a mixtape with just the love songs.
Love songs on it that they recorded all night.
Off the radio, though.
Yes.
It's recorded off the radio. So you know they put time into that shit because they had to sit there and wait for that song to come on the radio. Remember when people used to wait and call the radio station to
dedicate
a song to you and shit? You know what I mean?
And
now
then you get mad.
Playlist. You send them a playlist.
You're right. Then you get mad when you press and record, and you're like, I wish they shut up so I could press record. I'm missing the beginning of the song.
Yes.
You don't want to get none of the radio in your mixtape that you're giving out to people.
But here's the thing: they wouldn't care if it was something, because it was about the fact that you thought enough of them to put together this mixtape.
Yeah.
And then if y'all were making out, because people don't make out no more. Making out is fun, right? Y'all was making out, the music playing in the background, it's setting the stage for, you know, and they talking about, they might be talking about let's get it on, you know what I mean? But it sounds so much better.
Yeah, exactly.
Then you must be used to all these men. What do you say? You must be used to me spending all this sweet wine and dining, but I'm fucking you tonight. Really?
Yep. Yep. But you know, the other thing about the songs back then, we knew the words to them, but we didn't know what they meant. Everybody didn't know Mary Jane meant weed.
Right.
Everybody didn't know pull up to my bumper meant what it meant.
Yeah.
You know,
they were creative. They were creative in painting a picture, and it was double entendre. It could have been something as simple and innocent as we thought, but it also could have been something nasty and Red Fox, or, you know, some So what's the girl with the Millie Jackson ass shit? You know what
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you
Yes.
had, yeah.
Let me read y'all something in the chat room. They're saying, we didn't have access to the sex information. My sex education was my dad hitting Hustlers and his porn on beta tapes. Let's see here. They said mixtapes were the bomb. You know, people used to do that kind of stuff. I mean, it was just, that's the kind of things that we would do. We would take time.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it was the parents taking time with their children, friends actually taking time to have sleepovers and hang out with their friends, boyfriend and girlfriends actually spending time together, sitting. I remember sitting on the steps at the the steps of the stage at Leo, just sitting there talking to my boyfriend. Music loud as hell, all kind of shit. Everybody dancing, checks, walls are sweating. But we just sitting there just talking like ain't nobody else there.
Yeah, and that was important. Like, I spent time with him. We was just sitting there talking, and he and I was home.
My mama used to say shit like, what the hell do you have to talk about for 3 damn hours? You're tying up my phone, because this was before call waiting and shit, and you people would get busy.
Yeah.
Like,
then you get that emergency interrupt. Such and such is trying to call on the phone. Can you please hang up the phone so they can get through? You know.
But you look forward to that time, falling asleep on the phone, talking to them, or you hang up, no, you hang up, you hang up. Then nope, none of that anymore. Text me.
Right. Text, send a picture message, Facebook me, whatever. Inbox is like, there is no personal, bonding time anymore, so it's gotten to be very interesting how we evolved to the point where technology is more of our relationship than having that one-on-one connection with that person. It's like it takes away from it if we allow it to.
But here's the thing. You said, Evelyn, how we've evolved. I don't know if we've actually evolved. I think we've actually regressed as a result of all this technology.
Well, I can see, I meant the evolution of technology, but I can see the regression of people communicating one-on-one, having humanity and just being with each other as a person. It's the one thing I like about FaceTime is that when you can FaceTime with somebody, you're really sitting there talking to them. It's not like I'm sitting on the phone talking to you. The best thing in the world to me was that, because my best friends live all the way in Atlanta somewhere, but the fact that we can talk every day means, they're still right here with me. It's different, but it gives you a different kind of connect because you have that eye contact. You have that one-on-one communication. You can see each other, the body language. What's that look on your face? Or what's going on? Or how you feeling today? Why you smiling like that? So it's just those little things.
Or they can say ignorant shit like, can you turn your teeth down?
Look, let me tell you, Rob, it is the funniest thing in the world. And I want you to try this, for real. Call KiKi when she sleep or when she in the room watching TV on FaceTime. And when she turned the phone on, because they keep the rooms dark, right? So when she turned the phone on, you don't see nothing but her teeth and the white of her earphones if she got them on. That's all you see.
She
the
gonna
rest
tell
of the room
me.
is dark.
She gonna tell me, excuse me, can you turn your teeth down, please?
I'm like, glowworm, come on.
Rob knew me when I had braces.
See, so then she would be, shiny engine number 9. But, she still had cute teeth, braces and all. But now she got them old pearly whites, and you'd be like, you can't number teeth.
Even that, I mean, that's something simple. You think about braces. I had to go through that whole metal mouth thing with the rubber bands and shit. These motherfuckers get clear shit. They get the removable ones that they can, I'm like, no, you need to suffer through like I suffered through.
And they fillings too. The fillings in your teeth, they didn't have silver in their mouth no more. They take that out. They got these clear white whatever. I'm like, we don't know if you got cavities or not. We're playing. You false flagging. Ain't that what the gang banging?
Enamel color was. They took mine out. They're taking them all out. They're taking all of the other ones out because they said that there's something a problem with them, so to speak. But now they're giving me the enamel coat. But all this whole side, because I had a gang of damn, I don't know why, because I don't eat a whole lot of candy, but whatever. Anyway, Rob, you got some more?
Well, I think there's two sides to this whole technology and the advancement. I mean, I get it, you know, progression, and there's some good things. I agree that this whole Skype thing is good because you can see people, and I mean, yeah, it's better when you can see somebody that's away, and I got family and friends afar, and that's all cool. But I think that some of it we've taken it or allowed it to take us beyond its original intent. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Or we've just become so detached. Because I get it with the Skype, but when people prefer to text you than call you, all right. So I mean, I like texting for certain things, like information things. You know, hey Dad, I made it. You know, or yeah, I'm on my way. You know what I'm saying? But when you have something that requires an answer, I prefer you to call me because we can talk. I mean, you know, I can't get it from a text, and I don't like all of the shorthand shit. I'm still not a great texter because, I mean, I'm writing the whole deal. You know, I don't know all the codes and abbreviations, and I don't even want to learn them. You know what I'm saying? But I think that has made us less personal, and I don't think that was the intent. The intent was to enhance communication, and I think that, you know, it gotten counterproductive in some areas, you know, because folks don't want to talk to you no more. You know, I mean, somebody across the street, you know, rather than coming over knocking on your door, they're gonna text you. Hey, Rob.
I think texting is cool when you do stuff like it's less intrusive in a phone call in terms of if you're checking to see if the person is available. You know what I mean? Like, can you talk? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Are you up? That way, if you aren't up, when you do get up,
I ain't wake you up. You got it.
Right. You know, but a lot of times before, you know, it was like you rang, I'll go back to sleep. I can't, bitch. You just woke me up. You know what I mean? What you want? Nothing. Go back to sleep. No. What the hell do you want? You know, or if you're in a meeting or you having an important conversation, they calling. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, I think that, you know, in terms of that, it's cool. But I think that if you trying to get to know somebody, texting ain't what you need to be doing.
If I call you and I don't get you and you leave a message and then you text me back, hey, I got your message, what's up?
I hate that.
Call me back. I called you. I say, hit me when you get the message. Hit me when you get a minute. I didn't say text me to confirm that you heard my message.
You said hit me, so they hit you.
No, that's what it means. I'm talking in my vernacular. They know what hit me means. That don't mean text me. You know.
That is such a pet peeve of mine, Rob. Don't text me. If I called you, I called to speak to you for a reason. Not know what's up. Now, there'll be times, and I'm going to pick on KiKi for a minute. I'll call her. She'll text me back. I can't talk right now. I'm working. What's up? You know, and I'm like, hit me back when you're done. And then she'll call me back later.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean, I can see that.
If it's important. That's different. But
yeah, because that's acknowledging that I know you're trying to get with me. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Is it an emergency or what? I'm giving you a chance to let me put a priority on it because I got something going on. I get that.
And depending on who it is that's calling me, even if I'm in a meeting, I'll pick up and say, look, I'm in the meeting. I'll hit you right back. Or, look, I can't talk right now. I'll call you right back. And they'll be like, okay, cool, and we'll get off the phone. But, you know, it just depends on who it is. Now, if it's the person, are you busy? Yes. Well, did you know such and such and such? And when you keep talking, I'm going to text you. We're not talking.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know.
I think we need to. There's a thing called balance, right? And we just have to be able to find that balance between actually, and y'all have to excuse me, because I'm actually getting ready to set up our Facebook mentions. You have to be able to find that balance between when you want to be interactive and actually have a conversation with somebody, or when, you know, when it doesn't require you to actually speak. So, you know, it's not a matter of, you know, I'm minimizing the importance of your phone call. I just can't talk to you right now, and now is not a good time. So, you know what? You know, that kind of thing. But some people just taking this whole thing out of context. Chat room, J-String, what's up, Daddy-O? People text now first to make sure you don't send them the voicemail. See, before people could not tell who was calling, the phone would ring and you would answer no matter who it was. Yeah, call ID screwed that up for a lot of people. But you know, again, and then everything is so private now.
Mm-hmm.
We had locks on our cell phones back in the day. Hey, Rob used to have. He used to carry his cell. Remember them cell phones that used to come in a little bag.
Yes.
Rob had that joint on everywhere we went. That phone went. The phone was sure to go.
Hilarious.
That phone, if that phone was still around and could tell a story or write a tell-all, we'd be in trouble, man. If that phone could write a tell-all.
That was a big ass phone. Yeah, the handle and everything.
Yes,
Man, those phones.
I just want to say,
uh-oh, Cousin Chan.
that phone made it all the way to Atlanta.
What?
Yeah, it did. I got rid of it when I moved to Fulton County. But when I was living in Marietta, it was with me. Don't ask me why. I traveled it through 5 states.
You're a hoarder. You don't throw nothing away. That's why I made it. For those of you guys that just may be joining us, this is Playing Devil's Advocate. I am your host, Miss KiKi, the consummate provocateur, and today we're talking about old school, back in the day, and we are live on you guys right here on Facebook Mentions, so big ups to you guys on Facebook Mentions that are watching. I'm going to turn over there to that page so I can see if you guys are commenting there so we can get your comments as well. We're live broadcasting right here on YouTube as well with our interactive chat room. And if you want to send us a tweet, you can at PDA_Miss KiKi, PDA_MSKIKI, or you can post to our Facebook wall at Facebook.com/Playing Devil's Advocate, and we'll get your comments on air. We're talking about old school back in the day, and we have gone down memory lane on a whole bunch of things, haven't we, guys?
Man, so much stuff. It's going down.
Anybody else have another one they wanted to mention?
Well, I will say this, because today is 420 and we talked about music, it is my favorite person's birthday today, and that is Mr. Luther Vandross. It is his 65th birthday.
65th?
65th birthday, yes.
Wow. This would have been his 65th birthday. That's crazy.
Yes, and
talk about love songs. Whew.
Yeah. I'm just thinking of that too. A house is not a home and all that. Yeah.
It's a whole bunch of babies that are here because of him.
Indeed there are, and that is like, I was like, oh, it's Luther's birthday, and everybody who knows me knows I love him. His biggest fan. Long as he knew it, I did not care.
All right. Well, there it is. So,
there it is.
All right. Rob, you got one?
No, I'm good. I mean, back, I mean, we hit on the stuff that's nostalgic for me back in the day. I mean, the music, the cartoons, just the feel. I mean, I thought I was a little Mac Daddy, so that whole, when we talked about the whole, will you go with me all the way up to the grinding and kissing and the thing, that was my whole childhood anyway. So yeah, I mean, I just wish that certain things, would come back. That I think that the kids, and I try to give my kids that, and that's the advocate part of this. Technology is cool. It's bringing up a lot of advances for us. It's making the world smaller, and I get it. But I think that we're taking some of these amenities to their extreme and becoming too antisocial. Like social media is probably the most antisocial media there is. Because there's no real personal connection. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's all, a post this or a Snapchat that. I mean, the little, conversations that friends had, the day to day is gone to a Snapchat, and it's all screened for the world to see. It's not personal. It's not me and you talking, because whatever I'm sending out now, whatever I'm communicating, is for the world to see. So I got to screen it first, and it's just so antisocial. It's not like, yeah, it's just different. So
Well, I mean, it's crazy because Chan and I'll be across the hall from each other, literally, and we'll text back and forth like, hey, what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. What is that? You know what I'm saying? What is that? That's straight. I'm gonna get you, sucker. You beeping the dude right next to you. You know what I'm saying?
She'll be downstairs and she'll text me You know what I mean? And I'm like, yeah, no, blah, blah, blah. You know, that whole, or she'll FaceTime me from upstairs, from downstairs. You know, it's just, that's just, it's, I mean, it requires, well, you know, but this is 3 level. Who the hell want to walk up 3 levels to ask somebody a damn question?
We used to have intercom systems where we could push the button and talk to each other.
We did at my daddy's house. We did have the intercom system. When he moved over there in Roseland, we had the intercoms because I wasn't going nowhere. But anyway, I was like, I ain't moving. I was lazying in. This just only helped out. Remember back in the day, and this is something that's near and dear to my heart. You know, bye, Mama Marlene. I'm sorry. For those of you guys on Facebook mentioned, I'm talking to people in our chat room over here. Here's something that's near and dear to my heart. Y'all know how I'm a huge sports fan. Y'all know how I love me some football. Remember back in the day, football used to be fucking brutal. You know what I mean? And I mean, chop blocks and horse collaring and all kind of shit was legal. You know what I mean? You could damn near clothesline a motherfucker and get away with it.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. You could. You could. Jack Tatum, I mean, he was, yeah, you could.
You could literally take somebody's head off, forearms and shit. You could face mask, all kind of motherfuckers. You could do all kind of shit. Now, it's so... I mean, and I know it's under player safety, and I get it, you know what I mean? But in so many ways, it's starting to turn into almost like wrestling, that it ain't really, you know what I mean? That it's not really real. Even in basketball, they done made basketball soft. Because if you think about back in the day, them big body corn-fed dudes, they used to get it in under the rim. You know what I mean? If you went to the hole, you was taking a chance.
There you go.
You know, you was really taking a chance. Now you go to the hole, you just go into the hole.
You just go.
And how about this? They so soft, they don't even want to go to the hole. They'd rather settle for a 3, a jumper, outside jumper. You know what I mean? It's like, no. I mean, I remember people used to come out with lost teeth, all kinds of shit playing ball. You know what I mean?
Girl.
But they consider it a big deal.
Yeah, and they played with pride, and they were glad to do it. What happened is things got too commercialized. It became too much of a big business. Now these guys, they're all property. Their body is an asset. So now everything's got to be. Now I get it. I'm not saying that, you know, people should go out and end up with concussions and die and all this other bullshit like that. I get that, but I also get the flip side that when that game was started, it was just like the gladiators back in the Coliseum. I mean, that was entertainment, and you knew you were hardcore. That's what you were there for. You were there to do. They weren't making that money like that. They were there because they loved that grind. They loved that combat, and the game grew from that. Yes. And it's getting way away from it. And now with all of the money and shit that's involved, it is just so. I don't even really watch football that much, you know. I mean, if something's on and I happen to be watching TV, I might watch a game, but I'm not into it. I don't know nobody else is playing at this point. And it just ain't the same. I do watch the Legends League. The girls, we're going to a game on Sunday. I'm taking Simone. Now, they put it down, and they playing for the love. They don't even get paid. You know what I'm saying? You got housewives, you got dinner.
Definitely for the love.
But they put it down.
Yeah.
Now, they put it down. And I was thinking about coming because the LA team plays the Atlanta team. I was thinking about coming out there in June for that game. I might still do that. And we could get back, you know, in person. Yeah. But yeah, they put it down. If you want to watch it, they fight, they do it. They put it down.
Yeah, that's what I want to see. I want to see if the old school way. Sporty, we losing you out of your screen. I want to see that old school. I mean, I find myself now watching ESPN and the old games. You know, the old college games, the old basketball games, the old college basketball games. I watch some of the old. Like they had the the E60 or the 30 for 30, and they were doing the Bad Boys. They did the Detroit Pistons, and everything. And I was just like, damn, yeah, I forgot. Oh yeah. I mean, it was like, for me, it was like those were the good old days when you were actually watching those games. And I look at the NFL Network when they're playing old games and stuff too, and then they're doing their football life. And I'm looking at that stuff. Like last night, they were doing the 1983 draft. They were Elway to Marino, And I was, and I'm looking at all of these draft picks during that draft, and I'm like, oh, Hall of Famer, oh, you know what I mean? It was like, and those cats were getting it in. So it's always for me, and when it comes to sports, back in the day, it was brutal. I remember collecting those little metal helmets for football, remember?
Oh, my God,
yes. Out the gumball machine.
I used to get all my little teams like that.
Yes. Look, when Houston was the Oilers before
But you know what's funny about that? Even in discussing sports with people, people who are like just getting into them now versus people who are really authentic sports fans, you can't even talk stats with, your new sports fans because they don't know half the people. You couldn't, if you ask them who's your starting lineup, they can't even tell you, or why is he, on the first string, or what are his stats? What makes him this person versus this person? And, you don't get to see, or have that type of conversation where you have some real good back and forth about this player was this. Well, this is what this one did. And, you have your favorite ones back then, or you say names like Reggie Theus or Spud Webb to somebody, they're like, who is that?
Reggie Theus was fine.
Yes, he was.
That's crazy.
All I'm saying is, he was Rick Fox before there was Rick Fox. There was Reggie.
Right.
I'm just saying. But yeah, you talk about, like, a lot of people don't know about, like, Doug Collins not being a fucking commentator. You know what I mean? They don't know that Doug Collins actually used to coach the fucking Bulls. Shit like that. When he had hair, it was curly.
Yeah, it was curly.
Hair. They don't know about that kind of stuff. I remember we were in Dallas, and we were sitting there at the cigar bar, and we were smoking and everything, and the guy said something about football, and I responded, and he was like, what you know about that? I'm like, what you mean? What do you mean? What do I know? I'm like, one, I'm not as young as you think I am, and two, I'm a football fan, so I completely know who these people are that you're talking about. I'm like, that doesn't, it's not shocking to me. They were actually shocked, but I'm like, no. Back in the day, if you listen to some of the clips on NFL films and you hear that contact, it makes you cringe. It's like a car accident. It's like literally watching a car accident. None of that no more. If you're cranking up some pads, there's going to be a flag on the field somewhere.
But you know what my favorite thing was to do, especially if you're watching a game? I used to love how the camera would be on the player, and even though there was no mic, you would know they're cussing and going off. My favorite one used to be McMahon, number 9 on the Bears. He was always calling somebody a MFer, and I'd be like, oh, he cussed. He said, motherfucker. It's like, look at this. And you can hear them going off about plays and, all kinds of stuff. So it's just that kind of stuff. And then women, what women, sitting and watching the game or watching football. Now women, they accept more that women are participatory in sports where we know what we're talking about.
Well, here's the thing.
Back then, they didn't expect us to know what the hell was going on.
But you got to think about it. First of all, most of the time, women were relegated to the kitchen while men, like, think about Thanksgiving. Women were in the kitchen cooking, men were watching the game, right? Yeah. And the kids were just milling around, playing and doing whatever. I, on the other hand, during that time, if I wasn't cooking in the kitchen with the other with the ladies, because I was young, I was in there with the guys watching the game because I used to look forward to watching the Redskins play the Cowboys every Thanksgiving. That was something that I looked forward to. Why? Because I had a crush on Drew Pearson.
Girl, stop playing.
I'm just saying. You know what I mean? Which most people were like, what do you know about Drew Pearson? I'm like, get a life, right? Butch Johnson, all of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, though.
Back when, Tom Landry was the damn coach. But anyway, but, again, the roles are changing in a lot of ways, and I'm glad, there was, Title 11 is it? Or what was it, Title 11, that gave the women, like with the NCAA and all that other stuff in terms of sports and everything, the opportunity to compete on a professional level and on an even playing field. I absolutely appreciate that. However, they're making male sports more soft like women's sports, and the women are going harder than the men now.
Yeah, no, they are. And see, here's the thing. The competitiveness is what draws the fan. I mean, when you see people accomplish, things that you dream to accomplish, or that you could, what I'm saying, when they perform at a level that's beyond other people. When you see, O.J. Simpson run and go back and go around the other way and then still fucking go for, a 100-yard touchdown or some shit like that. Stuff that's memorable, something that's out of the ordinary. Now, with all of the rules and all the boundaries, games are just so normal. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's weird that something comes out of the norm. Yeah, okay, somebody ran a kickback, but when was the last time somebody did some real against the grain, I got knocked somebody where he just wasn't getting up thing, or ran over somebody where they wasn't getting up. I just saw that with the girl.
They get fined.
Yeah.
Like, they like, because I think about it like when poor Ndamukong Suh, you know what I mean? He plays football like old school football. And, they try to say he a dirty player. I think about my boy Rodney Harrison when he was still playing in the league. He was like a couple of times voted, one of the most dirty players in the league. And I'm like, he's not a dirty player. Y'all don't understand that these are old school players. These are the kind of kids that was playing football in the snow.
Right.
They watched, they studied football, so they knew. It's not they didn't have the benefit of all these prime pee-wee camps where people can go and they get coddled and all this other stuff. No, they had to work hard. They studied the sport, and they were watching the people or the positions that they played, and those guys played hard, and that's how they're playing. So, it's just, for me, that's just my own little tirade when it comes to sports and how back in the day it used to be one way, and now, it's the other way. Women are getting it in harder, than the men are these days, and it's kind of sad. And I do understand that you want to keep people safe. I don't want nobody dying. I don't want nobody having CTE. Because I understand the effects of that. And how it affects everybody, not just the person that's suffering from it. I completely get it. I completely understand how it could be scary because you're starting to experience symptoms that you never knew that that are scary to you because your brain is doing some shit that you don't know. I completely get it. I've seen it happen. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
You say, damn.
Damn. I used to love me some wrestling. Y'all couldn't say nothing to me about no Andre the Giant, and then.
Let me tell you something. You touched a nerve. Now I'm upset, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because I watched wrestling religiously. I was in love with my Randy Macho Man Savage, my Hulk Hogan, Jake the Snake, all of that. I was so into that, and then my brothers. All 6 of them bastards. They messed me up by telling me that wrestling was fake. I did not realize. I mean, I was going to Hulkamania, ripping my shirt, the whole nine.
I don't know. I'll put it like this. I would say up until about the mid to early 90s, I don't think wrestling was 100% fake.
Okay.
Because I used to see, I remember going to Alabama with my dad and going to a wrestling match, and I saw some of the blood. It was real blood.
Especially Dusty Rhodes. Dusty Rhodes always be bleeding, wasn't he?
Yes, I was seeing blood. And I think about the Von Erichs. Them motherfuckers used to bleed.
Oh God.
It was blood.
Brothers, quit playing.
And so I don't know necessarily that up until that time, before it became this caricature of a sport. But early on, I think they were actually getting it in.
I didn't believe that it was fake. I cried about it. I stopped watching wrestling until The Rock came into the picture.
They talk about the claw.
Oh my God.
Or what about the camel clutch?
The
I did the camel clutch. I did the camel clutch one time on my sister.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did. It was hilarious. Next time she on the show, I'm going to have her tell y'all the story. Or she and my brother, I'm going to have them tell y'all the story about when I put Avis in the camel clutch and how she submitted. It was funny because I couldn't have weighed.
What?
I couldn't have weighed 85 pounds. And she submitted. Anyway, speaking of submit.
Before you move on, I got a present for you. I'm going to send you this. Can you see that?
Oh, how awesome.
That's an autographed Drew Pearson rookie card. Yo, I got two of them. I'm gonna send you one.
That's good stuff. Look at her. She's like
my
JT.
day. Y'all just do not know. Anthony gonna be mad that I'm not drooling over his daddy, but I think that makes sense. But, but Drew Pearson was who I had the crush on. Anyway. I mean, Drew was fine. Y'all can't even lie. Y'all
he was fine. Come on.
All right. No disrespect, Anthony, to your pops, but you take it up. You took it the next generation, and your son took it to the next generation. So Tony took it one direction, and then Anthony amped it up a notch, and now Baby Hawk done took it up a whole another level, because that's the cutest little baby ever. Uh-oh! Kiki over here tearing stuff up, because it is time for us to do our Ask PDA letter. Excuse me, I fell out the frame. It is time for our Ask PDA letter. And it is time for me to get this disclaimer ready for y'all. So, I'm having a hot flash. I've been screaming for some air in the studio. I'm melting. Hopefully, by the time we get this Ask PDA letter, I can get some get some air. All right, let's do this disclaimer. Excuse me, and get it right out the way. Don't make fun. That's not nice.
At some point, you will be offended by something said on our show, but Playing Devil's Advocate is meant to be a forum for open, honest, and more importantly, judgment-free dialogue. The opinions expressed here may not necessarily be those of our hosts or the show in general, but we're willing to have the uncomfortable conversations so that we can heal and find solutions for our listeners and quite possibly ourselves. Enjoy the rest of the show.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
All right, today's Ask PDA letter is being brought to you by our producers' Drink of the Week. If you have not had a chance to check out the Mary Jane Mojito, now is your time. Go to facebook.com/playingdevilsadvocate, click the link, try out the drink, and let Cousin Chan know what you think. I don't know where she got hemp-infused rum from, but I'm just going to mind my own business. I just do this stuff over here. I don't mess with the drinks. All right, here's our letter. Dear PDA, here's the situation. My son's father and I have an amicable relationship, so much so that we have a child support agreement that stipulates that he'll pay his monthly support and any additional incidental unexpected expenses should they arise. Recently, I texted him to ask for a little change for groceries, and his new fiance replied back, "Hello, this is," fill in her name. "I know, I am now handling our budget and expenses, and since he already pays support, he will no longer be providing anything extra. We have our dream wedding coming up and will shortly after be starting our family, so we can no longer afford to help you out. Ever since then, every time I've attempted to reach him, she answers the phone. I'm really getting annoyed because I think she's out of line. PDA fam, what's the best way for me to handle this before I flip out on this woman? Signed, she got one more time." All right. I'm going to take this one first, and then y'all can take it any way you want to. She got one more time. You're absolutely right. This is him being passive-aggressive and refusing, for whatever reason, to manage his relationships appropriately. There is no reason that she should be playing the intermediary between you and your child's father in terms of the welfare and care of your child. If he doesn't want to pay the additional monies, he needs to grab his nuts, man up, and say it to your face. Don't use her as the pawn in between. If that is not the case, and she's just deciding to take this on as her own personal project, then he's out of line for her allowing her to even get in the middle of it. This is not her business. Your responsibility and your agreement with your child and his father regarding how you guys will take care of this kid is between you two. It has nothing to do with her. She's the fiance. She ain't the wife. I'm handling our budget and our expenses. We will no longer be able to afford to help you out. Bitch, this ain't no we. You're not married to him. You know what I mean? This is not something that you need to be finding yourself getting involved in. And if you don't want to have any problems, I suggest that, you call him and speak to him about something else. Ask to speak with him about something else. Even if it's you send an email or you guys get together and have a coffee date or whatever, and you need to set out the terms here. Listen, I don't go through her to talk to you about my son and his well-being. That's not the way this is going to be. This isn't how it's been. This is not how it's going to be. Because we've been cool all along. There's no reason for you to start allowing other people to cause problems in our situation. So, like I said, my advice to you would be for you to have a conversation with him without her and clearly explain to him the problem that he could be potentially creating going forward with allowing her to get in the middle of y'all situation. Who wants to go next?
I got it.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with that. 100%. You need to check him, not her. Next time you call and she answered, you need to just let that be. Hey, you know what? I didn't call, talk to you. Let him know we need to talk. We need to straighten this out. Because the bottom line is, it's been a good relationship thus far. She's the one causing the problem, and KiKi hit it right on the head. He hadn't manned up. I mean, he has to set the tone so that she knows how this is going to work going forward, or else it's going to be a big problem. And he's about to let some shit explode, and you falling right into it. You're going to be hostile. You and her going to be fighting, and that ain't the issue. The issue is that he needs to handle his business based on what y'all said, and he needs to handle his business beyond that because he agreed to deal with incidental shit that comes up too. So either you need to address that with him or get an opportunity to address it with him, or you need to go the other route and just slap him with the child support and ask for more shit. I mean, you probably, if y'all made an agreement, it probably is not what the court's going to give you anyway. So the bottom line is, hey, if I can't talk to him, then all right, I'll just do it this way, because I ain't finna get indignant. I ain't finna go down to your level. I ain't finna get in this bullshit. Don't stress yourself with that. Look, I mean, I don't like it, that I got slapped with an order, but sometimes that has to happen. Just slap him with an order, and he do what he got to do that way. If you can't get him to talk to you, and then they'll both have to deal with it. If she wants to be all we planning, let them plan for that shit. Anyway, go ahead.
Because when you talk about we, bitch, they will attach your wages too.
Yeah, y'all together.
Go ahead. Sporty, you got anything additional or extra?
I'm going to give you a poem, Sweet Pea, and all I'm going to say is this. Roses are red, violets are blue. Answer his phone one more time. I'm coming to see you. That's it.
Okay. That's the way.
Because what y'all said was right. But, of course, it ticked me off. So I'm just going to go answer the phone if you want to. You're not going to talk to me in my face. I'm going to talk to him.
Yeah, but see,
I'm not going to call you.
But you know what he's doing, though? He's instigating that by allowing that to happen. When he see the phone, and he hand it to her, it's her. That's some bullshit, because he knows he's creating that animosity between the two of them. They ain't going to ever get along. He could have fixed that the first time by handling it, and then they don't have to have a problem ever.
He's pitting them against each other.
Yeah.
He's not managing these relationships properly. He has to be a man about it. And if he doesn't want to continue to do that, maybe because financially he's not in a position because he's planning this dream wedding.
No, he's scared. He's scared of the girl. He's scared of the girl.
Wait. Or he doesn't want to make waves with this chick over here. The problem is that chick can come and go. The mother of your child is going to be there forever. So that's the relationship you need to be most paramount, making sure is preserved, because apparently it's been working all of this time. Whatever it is, however y'all broke up, y'all amicable, y'all got an agreement, y'all been going along just fine, and now this chick comes along and he's allowing her. Not she, he's allowing
right.
her.
It's all him. Yep. Yeah.
He's allowing her to cause problems. So she needs to, the next time she calls them and old girl answers the phone, like Rob said, be like, hey, how you doing? Be cordial. Be like, may I speak to such and such? Now, if she doesn't allow you to get on the phone with him, now then that's the problem. Because now you done really stepped out of line. Well, what can I help you? You can't help me with anything because you didn't help me make a baby, so you can't help me with nothing right now. You know what I mean? I wasn't fucking you. Not to be disrespectful, but you can't help me with nothing.
Right.
You know, so if that comes to be the situation where she's now impeding your ability to speak with him, again, you can send him a certified letter, you can call him at work. I'm sure there are other ways that you can get to him and say, listen, we can't do this. This is our kid, so this is going to be our decision. There are going to be no unilateral decisions being made by you or by me, or you and your people deciding to make a decision. We have an agreement. You can hold fast to it, or we can handle this like some real G's.
Come on now.
Before you get all G'd up, check it out.
When I say handle it like some real G's, I'm talking about going to court. No, I'm talking about going to court.
Yeah. Here, check it out. Don't get into that shit with this girl. Look, I don't know you, but I love you. I'm telling you, because you doing what you got to do. You trying to take care of your kid. Look, he's scared of her. He thinks that he's going by that. If she picks up the phone and she don't let you talk to him, say, all right, cool. And then you just do it. You got to just let that shit be. Because it ain't like you finna get the money for the groceries right now if you're going through that. And chasing this motherfucker, trying to catch him at work and all that is effort and trouble you don't need. Call, go straight down to motherfucking child support and start your shit up. If she don't give him the phone, start your shit up. Fuck that. Don't be stressing over this fool. I'm telling you, you got way too much life to be living. I don't think it's
stressful. I don't think it's stressing over it. I don't mean the girl in terms of that. What I'm saying is that you make the attempt to speak with him.
Yeah, and that's the first call.
Right. Make the attempt to speak with him. And I would say, and the reason why I said call him at work or call him, or send him a certified letter or whatever, is that's my final warning to you. You see what I'm saying? That I've tried everything I can, but you, for whatever reason, have impeded my ability to communicate with you. So now when I say let's handle this like some real G's, now the next thing will be that order from the court. You know,
right.
Not like all of a sudden you getting it out of the blue. No, it's not going to be all of a sudden out of the blue. I tried to speak to you. You've allowed her to keep you away from me. I tried to reach you in this way. You didn't respond. So now I have no choice.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be contentious. It does not have to be contentious. And the only reason that it is going to get that way is if he doesn't get a handle on this shit. Because if he marries her, it's only going to get worse. Because now it's like when your child goes to visit, now she all in it. You see what I'm saying? So you've got to figure out a way to still keep this amicable and keep the lines of communication open and let her know that she is a third party to the third party and she needs to stay in her lane. That's something he needs to manage. You don't need to get.
Once he get that paper, he gonna call her. He gonna call.
For sure.
He gonna call her, and he gonna say.
He's gonna be mad.
He gonna start crying and what's up? I thought we was good.
He gonna be mad.
Yeah, he mad. I thought we were good. I thought we were good too, but I couldn't talk to you. So this is what I had to do.
Right. I've attempted on several occasions to contact you, but you allowed your secretary.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Your gatekeeper wouldn't let me through when I've been trying to talk to you about your kid.
That's your representative. Here's mine.
Yeah.
But again, they say he will call her personally.
Yeah, he will.
He said in my Chicago Italian voice, I got your fucking wedding right here. He said, don't give me any more chances. Don't give him any more chances. He will call her personally. Of course he's going to call you. And when he calls you, he's not going to be happy. He's going to be upset and all of that other stuff. But keep your calm. Keep your wits about you. Don't engage in that way. All you have to do is say, listen, I've been trying to get in contact with you, but, your people, whatever reason, I don't know what's going on over there, but your people wouldn't let me holler at you. And this is the only recourse. This is the only recourse you've left me with. Yeah. Now, we can stop this and handle this for real, but there needs to be some boundaries here. I don't go through her to talk to you about our kids.
Thank you, because we didn't all make the child together.
With that being said, I had a good time tonight.
Me too.
Wait for tonight's show, ladies and gentlemen, would be, pretty much, take a look back and look at some of those things that worked. And understand why they're not working anymore, and try to implement them slowly back into your life. If you like spending time with your family and you think that that's something that keeps you strong, then do it. You know, take a moment. Go get to know your damn neighbors. You know, when you see them out there in the wintertime and they getting the snow off their car, speak. Say hello. Get to know them. Introduce yourself. You know, do those things that can make things a little bit better for us all, because we've gotten so far away from where we used to be. We can't always go backwards, but we can improve upon what we have. And what we've done is that we've chipped away at a very strong foundation that we've had in the past. And I think it's important that we work hard to rebuild that foundation. What you guys think?
I agree with that. I agree with that.
All right.
I'm about to go sponsor a block party. Right now, start knocking on my door. I need a block party.
All right, with that being said, on behalf of our producer cousin Chad, our incredible invisible intern number 3, Sporty Spunky Angel, Mr. Rob Carter IV, and me, your host, the consummate provocateur, Miss Kiki. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week, same bat time, same bat channel. Remember, we're always uncensored, unscripted, unapologetic. Follow us on Twitter at PDA_Miss Kiki and on Facebook at Facebook.com/Playing Devil's Advocate. We'll see you next time, guys. All right, good night.
Night, night. See you next week.
All right.